Bing.
My whole system's like on springs. All right, we are live.
Whoop
Jonathan,
whoop.
how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Can't complain. Way better than last week. The flu
Yeah,
was
you
not
were feeling
fun.
pretty junky last week.
Flu was not fun, man.
Yeah,
And freaking July too.
it's not even flu season.
Just been going around over here, man.
Yeah.
I can't explain it.
So,
So, yeah.
did you obviously got a chance to watch the Acolyte? I know we kind of
Oh, I watched. I
yeah, I watched
definitely
it
watched.
that the minute it kind of released, turned it on, and it was something. It was something. What were your initial thoughts on the episode as a whole, and then we'll kind of get into Plagueis and what that means for Star Wars as a whole later. So, what was your thoughts on the
Well,
episode?
the episode in general, at best, a 5 out of 10.
Okay.
Um, Like, the episode just didn't do anything for me. I was right. They didn't kill Kamir, which I was almost certain they weren't going to take him out.
Yeah.
Like, they needed him in the series. Um, so, yeah. So, Kamir stayed. They didn't really advance his character that much. Um, we did get the hint, though, that, I mean, when Plagueis showed up, which was awesome, I think everybody
Mm-hmm.
freaked the crap out.
Sure.
Um, I think everybody freaked the crap out, but I mean, we get the idea that Plagueis and Kamir have never met.
Mm.
You know, like
Yeah.
we get the idea they've never met. The way that Plagueis was like stalking them, like creeping from the cave.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we get the idea that they're not connected at all. I mean, other than the dark side.
Just
And one of
stalking.
and I'm gonna actually pull up the name right now. Um, I'm gonna pull up the name of one of the viewers because I want to give one of our viewers credit for noticing this. Give me a second. But our viewer had a really good observation of this.
Okay.
Um, let's see. It is. I might even be able to just put it up on the screen. I can do a screen share actually. Let me
Yeah.
just
Go
do
ahead.
that. Give this person some full credit. Let's
Just don't message him
see.
with hate mail or anything. Anybody.
Yeah. Don't message him with hate mail, guys. Don't be those people. Let's see. That was on the Plagueis video.
The newest one.
Uh-huh. Here we go. Um da, 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 da. I gotta make sure I find newest. There you go, newest comments. There it is. Okay.
Mm.
We're gonna screen share this. Okay, so we're gonna zoom in on this. Right here. Everybody, how big is this for everybody? Can people see this? Or
Yep.
do I need to try to find a way to zoom?
I just did it.
Okay, so this comment right here by Marquis Exceed, or Mark Exceed. I want you guys to notice this. Kamir is Darth Venomous. Okay, or yeah, really you say Venomous. Do you know who Darth Venomous is?
I actually don't. No.
So in Legends, Darth Venomous is the secret apprentice of Darth Tenebris.
Okay. Okay.
And Plagueis initially has no knowledge of Darth Venomous. but this might be him finding out that there's another dark side user. So, I mean, realistically speaking, I actually think that there's a chance that Kamir is actually being trained by Tenebris, and Plagueis doesn't know. Like, Tenebris might be alive right now. Like, that was a great observation. Like, I never even thought, because the thing is Venomous is completely Legends. He's a Legends character. He's not he's not canon yet, but this would be quite a twist.
Yeah,
so
that'd be
that
pretty
would
cool.
mean Tenebris is alive. Plagueis is working to cheat death. And of course, we know he ends up, at least in Legends, he ends up experimenting on Tenebris after he dies. He basically brings him back to life, kills him, brings him back to life.
Again.
Yeah, it's brutal, dude.
It's
So, so anyway.
So why can't we get a show on that? My goodness.
I know, exactly. Well, according to Leslie Headland, and I'm gonna pull up this article. Let's see, Leslie Headland and Plagueis.
Both our animals are going crazy.
Yeah, my dog is being stupid. All right, as usual. All right, here we go. Darth Plagueis Season 2, Leslie Headland.
Yep.
Can you see it on your end?
Not yet.
Okay, let me share it. Share.
I think since I'm the host, I have to like approve it.
Share. Okay. Leslie Headland says this. He's definitely a signifier of things to come if we end up moving forward. Osha and the Stranger are aligned. Literally, the last shot of the show is the two of them holding the same lightsaber. It's the last shot of Fight Club. These are two people that are looking out under the horizon and believing that their power is intense, strong, shared, and passionate. So, Leslie Headland also says Plagueis was always in the show. He was the plan in terms of revealing him and establish him in live action. My dream was to always introduce him with hands first, because Muns, their forefingers and their middle finger, are longer than the rest of their fingers. So always my dream was to show that first and sort of give a little bump for those that knew. But the tease is, because there's Plagueis, and because we know that Palpatine is eventually Plagueis' apprentice, we know that these two people, Osha and the Stranger, are not going to fall into that set lineage. There's a triumph for Osha. It's a triumph for both of them, but the added complication that Master and Apprentice, or in this case, Apprentice and Acolyte, there's always an imbalance. How will they survive the structure of how Sith work? Here's the thing. They probably freaking don't. They probably die. So, pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Yep. So, yeah, I think, I mean, at least she has a plan for Plagueis. I mean, if you can, like, pull off Darth Plagueis, that'd be amazing, because that's all I want to see. I just want to see Darth Plagueis at the height of his power. I just want to see him, like...
Ideally, though, we would want a Plagueis show. Not really him just being added to in a show that's already bombing.
Like, it'd be his show, right?
Like, it would be his show, Darth Plagueis. And that's my biggest complaint with Disney, is that, you know, they're passing up all these gems and pushing their own stuff, which hasn't gone well for them.
No. The thing is, though, is that Plagueis, even though we are kind of just now figuring this out, I mean, Plagueis is kind of the star of this show, kind of behind the scenes. Like,
yeah.
I mean, if it's true, of course, the theory video we just posted, I think there's a very high probability it is. Plagueis is the one that trained the witches how to cheat death, and how to create life. Now, Star Wars theory thinks that Disney is gonna woke it, and it's gonna be the witches that train Plagueis.
Correct. Yep.
I don't think Disney's gonna do that, but they can prove me wrong.
Yeah.
As always.
I mean, here's the thing, though. So I don't know how much truth there is to this. This is just something I saw on social media, kind of buzzing around, was that Plagueis, at the time of this video, canonically is 15 years old.
But that's Legends. That's according to Legends.
But I mean, I'm just saying the source itself said canon.
Where's this?
Try Wikipedia real quick.
Okay. And go to Plagueis' page? Should I go to Plagueis' page?
Yeah, probably.
All right, let's see.
What's up, Lee? How are you?
Hey, Lee's in here. Love that dude. Lee, we are... Do you think Plagueis didn't know the twins survived? Okay, so Lee, I'm going to ask your opinion. This is my... Yeah, his age isn't canon. That's what I thought. My theory on this, if you watched our new video that I made and I posted yesterday, I think that Darth Plagueis is the one that actually trained the witches. People like Star Wars Theory think that the witches are the one that trained Plagueis, which would kind of ruin Plagueis, because Plagueis was a mastermind and did all of his own research. I would not like it if they trained Plagueis. I get the idea that he is the mastermind behind the whole series and he's been in the shadows. I'd love to get your opinion on that. Now, according to what I'm reading about Plagueis in canon, this is only his canon side. He does not have an official birth date in canon.
We
he
know
only has a potential death date. He does not have a birth date. So we, as I thought, he does not have an official age stated.
It's those random
at this
things
time.
that are just circling social media right now.
All we know is that it says during the High Republic era, Plagueis had begun to actively work against the Jedi. In 132 BBY, Plagueis was present on an island on a planet inhabited by the Sith Lord known as the Stranger. While there, he lurked in the shadows of the Stranger's cave, abode as he observed the Stranger and the former Jedi Padawan depart from the planet in their ship. That's all it says.
Cool.
So, going off of that, I seriously doubt he's 15 here. He looks pretty old.
He looks
here,
old.
Actually.
I mean, yeah.
He looks like he's been around a while. And that's why I think he's the one who trained the witches, and it's not the other way around.
Yeah. No, and because that's
do we
what
know
I
how
thought
old
whenever
Ocean
I
and
watched
May are?
Theory's thing on it, was, why isn't it the other way around? Because that would fix certain things.
Right.
And obviously they know about the Force. The witches do. They call it the thread, but they're like, some people call it the Force. We call it the thread. Whatever. But, who taught them? Did they just discover it? I mean, when did they, when were they exposed to the Force?
Right. And I almost think here's the thing. I'd be okay with a lot of what they did in the first season if we end up finding out that Plagueis not wanting to divulge too much about what he knows, doesn't even call it the Force. He calls it the thread. He almost manipulates them into only seeing it from a very small standpoint because he doesn't want to give away too much information. Could be wrong about that, but do you think he had there you go. Now you were frozen for a second. Do you think he had Sith eyes? Oh, 100%. I mean, he looks straight evil, my dude. Let me pull up the photo for you, Lee. You can tell me. Maybe I'm tripping. I'm colorblind, so
I ain't
the best person to ask.
I thought he did, but I could be remembering it wrong.
All right,
I just love that they use the music in the during the reveal. Man, that was so good.
Dude, that was insane. Okay, here we go. Here, let me show you his picture in Wikipedia, which is that picture. And you guys can tell me if he's got Sith eyes. I'm gonna present. Ready?
Just play the clip from YouTube too.
Or we could do that. Here we go. I'm gonna share it though. This would be quicker. I don't know. You tell me.
Those
Those
look like
eyes,
Sith eyes
bro.
to me.
They
I
look like
mean,
Sith eyes to me, man. He looks pretty freaking evil. He doesn't look like he's playing around. I definitely wouldn't want to bump into him in that cave. That's all I can say. Jeez.
yeah.
So yeah, I think he's a Sith at this point, and maybe our viewer that we were talking about earlier is right. Maybe we need to make a video on this. But maybe Kamir is Darth Venomous. He's the secret apprentice of Tenebris the whole time, and Plagueis is getting suspicious, and he's stalking them now. Like, be a pretty interesting. Now, here's the thing too. In canon, Plagueis isn't much of a saber duelist. He only engages in lightsaber combat when he absolutely has to. He's so strong with the Force, he doesn't even have to use his lightsaber. Like, that's how freaking insane this
But man,
guy is.
can you imagine that in a live action? Oh gosh.
Oh man, dude.
But I mean, let's be real. Kamir, Plagueis, they stole the show.
Oh, of course they did.
The whole show. Because I
Of course
mean,
they
let's
did.
be real. I mean, Osha and May just were not interesting characters, and so people flocked to Kamir because he was a semi-interesting character.
Yeah, no, nobody, no, but literally nobody cared. I know I didn't. So, like, Kamir was the only redeeming part of the show for main characters to me.
Yeah.
I did not enjoy really any part of the series except for Kamir.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say I figured you were probably in the same boat. I don't know about you, Lee. Lee, what'd you think?
No, I think that the show itself was horrendous. But Kamir was really cool. I mean, episode 5 was so fun to watch because of the lightsaber duels. And the last episode, again, that was the saving grace of the episode, was the lightsaber duels. As far as the story goes, man, that was a rough episode. Storytelling wise, that was a rough episode.
It was not
because
that
they explained
great.
nothing. They just put random plot points in everywhere, and it didn't make sense. And Leslie Headland doesn't even know what's going on in her own show.
Yeah,
because she's confirmed that a couple times. Like I read an article where she was saying, "Yeah, we haven't confirmed that they were created by the witches or anything." Talking about Osha and May.
Right.
And this is weeks after episode 3. And I'm like, do you not know what's going on in your show? Yes, you did. You confirmed it. So, I mean, I don't know. She's just not a good storyteller. I think choreography was fantastic in the show. Everything else was rough.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I don't.
And can we talk about the lightsaber turning red for a second?
Yeah,
it was a cool
interesting.
scene. Like visually, it was really cool. I just don't understand with Anakin, bro. Like, homie.
Bro was 1,000 times more evil than that.
I know. He started killing kids. He started killing younglings. He tore down the entire Jedi Temple. I mean,
I don't know how to explain around that one, man. I don't know how they're going to explain that. I mean, I'm sure there's some sort of explanation, but
and if anybody
Anakin
knows of any explanation, like, let us know.
Yeah.
Obviously, if they're like the crystal was broken or something, I don't know. Like, how are you going to spin this to where you're just completely ignoring the prequels and the original trilogy? I just don't see how you're doing this.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know how you work around that, considering Anakin was literally slaughtered all the younglings in the Jedi Temple, slaughtered Jedi in the Jedi Temple.
I know what I want.
What?
I know what I want. Here's the show I want. Just Order 66. That's all I want. An entire show dedicated to Order 66. That's what I want.
Bro, that would be absolutely insane.
I want a video game where it is just hunting down Jedi.
Wow.
That's what I want.
Wow.
Sorry, my Wi-Fi is not working that well tonight, and so
yeah, I see you're a little glitchy.
Keeps frozen.
Interestingly, I don't know. Maybe Saul had the crystal on the edge of being dark.
I
I
don't think so.
mean,
I just don't think so.
I think Saul was just emotional more than anything. I don't think he was going dark
Bro was
side on
unhinged.
anybody.
What are you talking about?
Bro, he's just Saul was annoying. I was glad he died. I hate to say it. I don't
I
think
was
I'm
so glad
alone.
he
I'm
died
so
too.
glad he died, dude. I was just like, thank you. Shut this guy up. Put a lightsaber through him. Choke him. Something.
And I mean, it would have been an even better episode if the twins died, but that's not going to happen.
Dude, I was really, 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 really hoping Osha was going to kill May just so there was one
Oh,
less of them.
yes.
But she didn't.
It would have
Had to
been.
wipe our memory.
Oh, that creates more problems too. We're just going to talk about the problems. I swear.
There's a lot of them. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're opening up more potentials. I mean,
Hear me out on this though. I mean, with the memory wipe thing, if that's possible to do with just a flick of the hand, then why didn't Sidious do that whenever the Jedi Temple or when the Jedi came to arrest him? You're under arrest, Chancellor. No, I'm not.
it might have to be for the week. You know what I mean?
Are you saying May's weak?
Absolutely.
I mean, you and I both know that.
May would get cooked by Kamir. Let's just be real. He's way more powerful than she is.
Again, we know that, but
True.
not in the narrative of Leslie Headland's Star Wars.
Right. I mean,
You
once
can't go
again,
against the woke agenda, man.
I have no problem with memory wiping happening. I just want to know. I also think might have to be a willing thing too. Like she might have had to have been willing to have her memory wiped. I don't think it's something that you can just force. I mean, now we know that you can. Like for example, we see it in the sequel series, with Kylo Ren trying to get information out of Rey by torturing her. Rey wasn't willing. She was not giving up the information. So
That's
it's kind of
obviously
like,
different, though. That's a lot different.
but all I'm saying is I think it needs to be a willing participant. There needs to be a waiver, and I think there needs to be wavering in the person. And clearly, May was like, okay, fine. I mean, if that's what we have to do, I'll do it. So that might be a way around it. Once again, I don't have an issue with memory wiping. It's just it needs to be explained because it could open up some problems.
Yeah, I
Um,
think.
Now, granted, there are times in Star Wars. I mean, look at Episode 1, where Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon use super speed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why don't we see super speed used throughout the rest of the entire prequel series, where it could have been very, very helpful? Like, it's just kind of stuff like that. Not saying I think it's a great idea, but I'm not going to just dog the ability to memory wipe quite yet. I want to see if they can flesh it out a little bit. I do
Because they've
have a
done a good
problem.
job of explaining everything so far.
Well, that's the problem. They might not explain it at all, or if they do, it's going to be extremely poor.
Right.
So I don't know. Well, I'm open to see what they do with it. Obviously, Leslie Headland's my concern. So if she can get different writers for the show, I think it'll be a sling. I mean, season 2's got the potential to be really good. Like if they it could be really good if they get some writers who know how to execute Star Wars. And the other thing that knows Darth Plagueis, don't just have someone create their own version of Darth Plagueis. You cannot do that. You will piss the fan base off further. You don't mess with Darth Plagueis. Okay, you just don't. Like he has got to be a certain way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, once again, I have hope that Dave Filoni now is going to have way more oversight on the writing, and he is. I would assume, I would assume he'll interject some things. I hope, but I mean, Not holding my breath, but I would assume in season 2 he'll be way more hands-on,
Yeah.
especially seeing how poorly the Acolyte did review-wise. And I do think they're going to get a season 2 because they're going to justify it by it was the second most watched series that Star Wars has put out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're going to renew it. Obviously, people watch it because they're like, hey, let's see how bad they can screw it up this week.
But they don't know that.
Yeah, but I mean, but that's how they'll justify it.
That's
And
how
now,
Lindsay will.
And now that they have Plagueis out there, oof, dude. I mean, I would actually be upset if there's not a season 2 now that Plagueis is alive. Just to see what they do with Plagueis. Like that's what I'm
Just
in
to
this
see
for
if they
Plagueis.
mess it up.
I'm in this for 2 reasons now.
Come here.
Okay, Kamir and Plagueis. That's reason 1. Reason 2, everyone else dies. That's what I want to see happen. May, Osha, Vernestra, all of them. Just
All of
kill them all. Kill them all.
That's what should have happened at the end of episode or season 1, though.
I was hoping they'd all be on the ship and they got freaking decimated. Like that was I was hoping.
Plagueis just brings them down.
Yeah, Plagueis uses the Force and just annihilates their ship. I was actually
Imagine the plot twist there.
Oh, dude. I mean, here's the thing, dude. They introduced Plagueis 11 minutes into the episode. I was waiting for Plagueis to pop out the whole episode of like, oh shoot, what's gonna happen?
Yep.
Bro's about to ambush Kamir, or bro's gonna go in and slaughter them all. I don't know. But
there were some cool scenes though. I mean, visually the show looked great. Visually, choreography was great. It was just the storytelling. I mean, that's what it all boils down to with the show. But the episode, as far as episode 8, you know, it was just no different. It created more problems than it solved. And but man, those were some cool lightsaber duels. I was down for the lightsaber stuff.
The lightsaber stuff was great. They definitely did a good job on that throughout the whole series. That was one of the few things I think they did well.
Right.
I mean, they brought in some Legends stuff, which is good. I mean, anytime you can use Legends material, which is extremely popular. A lot of fans were not happy about the sequels. Just exclude Rian Johnson and his writing.
And you'll be good.
Just pretend that doesn't even happen. Outside of that, outside of the whole 3 movies, including Force Awakens, people were upset that there was no Mara Jade. Like, people were really hoping that there was going to be a Mara Jade Skywalker appearance. But there wasn't. They didn't use any Legends material in the sequel series, pretty much at all. That was people. Now, on the flip side, Rogue One used a lot of Legends material, including the Hammerhead Corvette. That was a Legends thing until they pulled out the Hammerhead Corvette. People were like, "Oh shoot, that's the Hammerhead Corvette!" Like this, it's canon now. Yeah. So like there was that. I mean, using Legends material is always a good idea in Star Wars because the Legends.
It just depends on how they flesh them out, though. You know, if they bring them back and then ruin them, then that's a different story.
Well, and it's as Ahsoka said in the Clone Wars series, there was always some truth in Legends,
right?
And so definitely hint from Filoni, like, hey, we're gonna use Legends material more in the future. So,
all right. So, final thoughts. Kind of what are your expectations for season 2 if they get it? You know,
expectations. I expect we're gonna get a lot of Plagueis. Like, you better give us multiple episodes devoted mainly to Plagueis. Now that you've introduced him, you better freaking follow up. I'm just saying, you don't just give the dude a 6-second cameo and kill it. Like, you better give us something.
Yeah.
So I expect that. I do expect we'll get a Kamir backstory. At least in some capacity, I think we get a Kamir backstory. I also do anticipate that the sisters are going to continue to grow in the Force. Obviously, I don't think May and Osha are done in the series. I think they're going to obviously OSHA's going to grow stronger on the dark side, and might even set up I mean, they might even set up a fight with Plagueis. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how that fleshes out.
It'd be
And
cool
then,
if they, made her into a really cool character and a very dark character where, man, she's just so emotionally unhinged all the time.
yeah,
And so if they could flesh out her emotions and get rid of some of those stupid emotions,
agreed.
and focused on just chaotic evil like Hamir was.
Agreed. Yeah, I think
Get
that
her
would
a
be
helmet.
great.
Get her a helmet.
Yeah, do something for her. Make her believable, because like for me, like they're just not believable characters. Kamir's believable.
My hope is this is an Office situation where the first season sucks and the rest of the show is
and
fantastic.
everything else is great. Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how The Office was. The first season was.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's rough.
Now
we appreciate it. Like I'll watch the first couple episodes and they're fine, because in light of the rest of the series, and I feel like this would be the same way. They can still turn around the show. They
Agreed.
can, but they can't have Lindsay Henley do it.
Agreed.
She was
No,
not. I don't think she's capable of doing it.
Yeah, you got to get a different writer. Fine, have her be the executive producer and whatever, but don't let her write.
No, don't fire her. Get rid of her, bro. No, don't
Yeah.
have her do anything. She doesn't need to be near Star Wars.
Well, producer doesn't do anything.
I don't want
It's
her
an
name
honorary
attached
title.
to this at all. I want her to feel every part of
That's
this
fair.
humiliation.
Oh my gosh, I agree. I mean, it would be. I think they could have obviously done a way better job.
Yeah.
Way better job with this dang series.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah. Anyway, that's my anticipation for season 2. Assuming we get one, and we should. It just needs to be Plagueis based.
I mean, that's
And
what
they
it
need to-
needs
and-
to be. Yes, I would
and
agree
they
with you. It
need-
needs to be Plagueis being the ultimate bad guy, and so that's what they got to flesh out.
And in my opinion, Kamir and Osha have to die before the end of the series.
Yeah.
I don't think you can let more Force users. Because here's the thing, man.
Know about-
Palpatine could sense Maul and Savage from a long way away.
Yeah.
Like they became rivals. He knew he had to deal with them. I feel like Plagueis needs to do the same thing.
Are we
I feel
going
like
to see?
Plagueis-
What would be really cool is if we saw a Plagueis Yoda fight.
Ooh. Canonical problem. Potentially.
I mean, there's
I would
canonical problems everywhere in the show, so I don't.
I would see that being a big problem.
Dude, the Jedi are evil. I don't know how much more canonically problematic you can be.
Now, I have no problem with the Jedi fighting Plagueis as long as they die.
They have to in order. I mean, Keanu Mundi, man, it ruins everything.
I wish it was Kiedi Mundi. I wish they'd kill him, but they can't.
They can't.
Maybe that's how they're gonna like write in a Legends character or a character we haven't really gotten to see much of, and that's how they kill him. As Plagueis disposes of him because they learn too much. I don't know. That would be cool to see Plagueis actually fight. So,
That'd be cool.
or not even fight. They freaking attack Plagueis, and Plagueis just goes, "Shneek," just kills him. So, I mean, that's how strong he was, dude. He's the most powerful Force user of all time. Not in combat, but just in straight Force usage. No one's ever touched Plagueis. So, we're going to do a theory video of this, guys, of why I actually think Plagueis is actually still alive in canon post Phantom Menace. So, I think Disney reintroduced Plagueis because I actually think they need a real villain for this new Rey movie that's coming out for episode 10. Bum, bum, bum. Guess who's
Been
cheated
alive
death
the
again?
whole time.
He's been freaking alive. Now, in Legends,
Somehow.
that's true. No, in Legends, that's true, though. Even after Sidious killed Plagueis, Plagueis' body essentially, like, disappeared. he always sensed the presence of Plagueis in the Force. It was like Plagueis, his spirit endured, just kind of like Sauron did in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
So,
You know, it'd be really
dude,
interesting.
if
You know,
they
that could be
wrote
one way.
Plagueis in,
That could be one way they explain the whole line of somehow Palpatine returned.
yeah, that would. I mean, seriously, they could save it. They could save a lot of the issues that we didn't like about Episode 9 if they were to fill it in with Plagueis. That would be brilliant.
Episode 8
And
is a goner, though.
it would also explain Snoke. It would also
Yeah.
explain how Palpatine was able to basically create controllable Force beings by Force manipulation, which of course they hinted at in the Bad Batch. We did, but of course it got destroyed. It was Operation Necromancer got destroyed. So obviously they kind of had to toss a lot of those plans, but unless Palpatine already knew. So yeah, I don't know. I think that'd be a good way they could save it. And we'll probably do a theory video on that this week. So
Yep. No, I agree. But all right, that's all I got.
same.
Well, cool, man. Y'all drop us a like on this live if you're watching it, please. It helps us out a lot. Also, watch our last couple videos. Jonathan has done a great job on those videos. Drop him a like, drop him a comment, and just let us know what you think about the content so far. And if you have any suggestions, drop us a comment as well.
Yeah. Any suggestions you guys have got of what type of content you want to see? Let us know.
Yeah, because I was thinking about doing a content video on top 5 Legends characters that they should bring back into canon. So we'll see what we got over the next couple weeks. But please let us know what you guys want, because we're here to share our love for Star Wars, but also to have you be entertained by our love for Star Wars. So let us know what you guys want. But if there is nothing else, Jonathan, I will see you later.
May the Force be with you, buddy.
May the Force be with you.